Hello, everyone, welcome. It's the 23rd of September, it's Wednesday night, which means it's time for a quiz. As ever, please donate what you can to the PayPal, with the exception of the team who paid twice last week. You know who you are, wild error. There will be same format, generalised questions, yada yada yada. The wiki quiz link for your answers I'll send to the groups as it is, but it will be in the comments on this video, or in the description on this video, sorry. You have until 9:45. The quiz finishes at 9:45 by force, because that's when the answer go live. Okay? So there's this video, the answer video. The link to this and the PayPal are in the video description. Please give what you can. It is used to go towards the prizes and so on. We'll get underway. So it's going to be 15 questions, then the 5 in a row, then 50 more questions, the music, which is on your answer sheet, and then the pointless, and jackpot questions. Feel free to pause this in between questions, but you have 2 hours basically. If you start at 7:45, it's finishing at 9:45. There will be no extra time today. Okay? Good. Failure to comply with those rules, or failure to cheat. If you cheat, you will first of all be attacked by me, Steven Seagal. Then you'll be fined £200, and then we're going to send the army in on you, because that's what we do in this country nowadays, apparently. So looking forward to that. Good. Right, let's get underway. Question number 1 is on TV and blessed with multiple international variations, like some sort of global idiocy pandemic. What is the name of the TV series in which people are wed to somebody they've never previously encountered? And then we see how they get on it badly. So that's question number 1 again. Blessed with multiple international variations. The Australian one is on at the moment. What is the name of the TV series in which people are wed to someone they've never previously encountered in their life? Question 2 is on sport and American football. Very straightforward question. In which month of the year has the Super Bowl been played since 2004 and ongoing in the future? The Super Bowl has, since 2004, been played in which month of the year? Question 3, what I'm going to do is describe a confectionery product using its Wikipedia introduction. All you need to do is tell me what the name of this product is. X is the brand name of an Austrian candy and associated manual candy dispenser. The candies are pressed, dry, straight-edged, curved corner block, 15mm, that's 5/8 of an inch, long, 8mm, that's 5/16 of an inch, there's some imprecision there, wide, and 5mm, that's 3/16 of an inch, high, with blank dispensers holding 12 candy pieces. I'll do that again. Redacted is the name, or the brand name, sorry, of an Austrian candy and associated manual candy dispenser. The candies are pressed, dry, straight-edged, curved corner block, 15mm long, 8mm wide, and 5mm high, with redacted dispensers holding 12 candy pieces. What brand is that? Question 4 is on words. Which 10-letter word is used to describe a user of social media who either advertises or markets certain products, or who promotes certain lifestyles by dint of their outreach to fans, often inconceivably large numbers of fans? A 10-letter word used to describe a user of social media who either advertises or markets certain products, or who promote certain lifestyles by dint of their outreach to their considerable number of fans. A 10-letter word. What is that? Question 5 is on films. In which film of 2006 does the title character, played by young Abigail Breslin, perform a burlesque routine to the sweet sounds of Super Freak by Rick James? Wildly inappropriate. The film of 2006 in which the title character, played by young Abigail Breslin, performs a burlesque routine to the sweet sounds of Super Freak by Rick James. What film is that? Question 6 is on sausages and geography, hereinafter sography. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're good people who do this quiz. You're all good people, lovely people. And therefore you can be relied upon, you can be trusted to enjoy a sausage in respectable fashion. Unlike, sadly, horrible to report, Stuart Dennis Grady. Full name means he's done something wrong, doesn't it? Stuart Dennis Grady of Ballymena, Northern Ireland, who was jailed for breaking a non-molestation order on a woman after he posted 4 sausage rolls through her letterbox with the message, "I hope you choke on them." His punishment was a 2-month, presumably sausage-rich, spell in prison. The question, however, is in which Northern Irish county would you find Ballymena, as well as the majority of Belfast? So that question again, sausages, blah 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 blah. In which Irish county, Northern Irish county, would you find Ballymena, where the sausage mayhem took place, as well as the majority of Belfast? Question 7. I'm going to give you here a list of 10 seemingly unconnected things which, on closer scrutiny by my merry band of home and pub-based scrutineers, will be revealed to have a single unifying theme. What is it that could possibly unite these 10 things? Cybermen, a 1973 Bruce Lee film. An unpopular 90s soft drink. Either the female of the species or the Mos Eisley Cantina. A film about Joy Division. The Pina Colada song. In mathematics, associating every element of a first set to one element of a second set. And then 3 very unhelpful clues. A financial obligation of the producers of the News Quiz or Balamory. Baseball players with glue on their heads. And Officer Crabtree from the Lower Lows' favourite blaxploitation film. Give you those again, ladies and gentlemen. Cybermen, a 1973 Bruce Lee film, an unpopular soft drink of the 1990s, either the female of the species or the Mos Eisley Cantina, a film about Joy Division, in mathematics, associating every element of a first set to a single element of a second set, the Pina Colada song, a financial obligation of the producers of either the News Quiz or Balamory, baseball players with glue on their heads, or Officer Crabtree's favourite blaxploitation film. What links those 10 things? Question 8, ladies and gentlemen. Sad times. Sad times. The 2-digit A road question has failed its MOT, and I'm unwilling to repair it. So for one final time, let us travel the highways and byways of the United Kingdom. Gird your loins and fasten your safety belts. As we start with officially the UK's most dangerous road. Very brief description, however. It starts in the home of UK shower gel, Latheron. That's in Caithness. It's all in Caithness, in fact. Before taking in a brief few times Thrumster, Wick, Lochshell, Rice, and then the only place you've probably heard of on it, and where it ends very sensibly, as it would otherwise plunge into icy near Arctic waters, and John O'Groats. So all in the north of Scotland, ladies and gentlemen. Latheron, Thrumster, sounds like the two Ronnies insulting someone, doesn't it? Thrumster, Wick, Lochshell, Rice, and John O'Groats, ladies and gentlemen. Which 2-digit A road is that? Question 9 is on music. Which 1998 Oasis #1 single is, according to the Guinness Book of Records, the longest ever single to reach the UK #1 slot, clocking in at an almost unbearable 9 minutes and 38 seconds? That's question 9. Which 1998 Oasis #1 single is, according to the Guinness Book of Records, the longest ever single to reach the UK #1, so that's longest in duration of song, clocking in at an almost horrible 9 minutes and 38 seconds of trudge. What song is that? Question 10 is on clothing ranges. The ranges Per Una, Autograph, and Blue Harbour are all available from which British retailer? Through which British retailer are the clothing lines Per Una, Autograph, and Blue Harbour available? Question 11 is on singers. Katy Perry, ladies and gentlemen, Katy Perry. Who was, between 2010 and 2012, married to Russell Brand before, for some reason, tiring of that life. I can't imagine why anyone would grow tired of Russell Brand for 2 fucking years. However, she is now happily engaged and has recently had a child with which actor? Katy Perry, ladies and gentlemen, finally free of the shackles of someone who owns a thesaurus but doesn't know how to use it, Russell Brand. Also owns shirt buttons, he doesn't know how to use them either. He's now engaged and has a child with which actor, ladies and gentlemen? Katy Perry is engaged to and has a child with which actor? Question 12 is on sport and football, and other than Wimbledon, who technically no longer exist, which former Premier League club finished in the lowest position last year of all former Premier League clubs? Their 19th position in League 2 just rewards for being the coldest ground known to man. It has a hole in the back of the away end, which isn't helpful. The last time I went there, this isn't helpful at all, but it is true. Last time I went there, so the Slovenian international, Nej Peknik, who scored against England, Nej Peknik, took a penalty, which may or may not have landed now. That was taken in 2013, that penalty. It was blazed over the bar. So the lowest position in which any team that has been in the Premier League, so that's since 92-93, the top division in the Premier League, was this team's 19th place in League 2. It's incredibly cold. at this ground, ladies and gentlemen. Which club is that? Question 13 is on ageing and games, and as we grow older, ladies and gentlemen, as we grow older and we mature, we may find it increasingly difficult to draw pieces from the boneyard, which sounds a little bit like a euphemism, but is in fact not, as it is terminology from which game? The boneyard, ladies and gentlemen. The boneyard. Terminology in which game is one of six, only six, that can be legally played for money in a pub, as it is an even chance game. Others include shove halfpenny, cribbage. You can play cribbage in a pub for money. Others. But drawing pieces from the boneyard, ladies and gentlemen. It's terminology from which game? Question 14 is on TV and boasting a varied degree of talent and indeed survival rates. Presenters Keith Chegwin, Mark Lamar, Paul Ross, Richard Bacon, Mike McLean, he was irritating, Richard Orford, who doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, which is pretty shameful, and the Phil Neville of TV presenting, Paul Ross, all appeared as roving reporters on which TV show? Mark Lamar, Keith Chegwin, Richard Orford, Richard Bacon, Mike McLean, Paul Ross. Oh, in fact, I already said Paul Ross, didn't I? Paul Ross, basically, is on this programme as well. Good. All appeared as roving reporters on which TV show? What a polished product this is. Question 15, the last one for a bit, is on films. What is the surname of the brothers who write and direct films? One of whom was directed Green Book as well, which won the Best Picture Oscar. He was best known, probably, for their films like Dumb and Dumber, Shallow Hal, Me, Myself and Irene, and Stuck on You. What's the name of those brothers? Responsible for writing and directing Dumb and Dumber, Shallow Hal, Me, Myself and Irene, and Stuck on You. One of them also directed Green Book. Okay, question 16 to 25. I'd give yourself about 5 minutes for this. Maybe have a break, who knows. According to an ongoing YouGov poll, the 10 most popular consumer electronics brands in the UK. They're not UK brands, but this is in the UK. The most 10 popularised and highly thought of. Most popular consumer electronics brands. As a heads up, one of them is more electricity than electronics, and one of them is a shop and not really a brand. In that sense, okay? So that's 16 to 25, right? One answer in each space between 16 and 25. Lovely stuff. Maybe take about 5 minutes. I really want a cigarette, and I'm going to do that now on camera. This is unprofessional. Also, I'm going to check my phone. You knock yourselves out for a bit. Fuck it. There we go. Question 26 is on things, ladies and gentlemen, helpfully things. It's not generally advisable to go around dredging the swim bladders of fish. But if you were to do so, you might find yourself in possession of a rich harvest, of which substance is a form of collagen, which is used in the brewing industry to accelerate the fining or clarification, as in making beer clear, process. But what is that substance? A form of collagen used in the brewing industry to accelerate the fining or clarification process, which puts vegans off drinking this stuff, which is found in the swim bladders of fish, ladies and gentlemen. What is that substance? A 9-letter word. Question 27 is on TV and adverts. Terrible, terrible adverts. The husband, Sonny, the wife, Amy, and their 3 children, who are boasted about being real, basically. They're a real-life family. Well done. But the children are too irritating to be given names currently. A part of the new advertising campaign for which supermarket? It's dreadful. Sonny, that's the husband, Amy, that's the wife, and their 3 children, who don't have names because they don't deserve them, were, until they were tragically killed by a renegade quizmaster running amok, the faces of the new advertising campaign for which supermarket? Question 28 is on food. What is the name of the Vietnamese soup, ladies and gentlemen, which consists of broth, rice noodles, herbs, and meat, which is considered their national dish? The Vietnamese soup, ladies and gentlemen, with a broth, rice noodles, herbs, and meat, often beef, sometimes chicken, also my Tinder profile, which is considered their national dish. Question 29 is on video games. Which popular character, whom nobody actually liked, was the star of the computer game Castle of Illusion, a platform game, as well as another game, also a platform game, which shared the title of perhaps his most famous film outing? So a popular character, animated character who no one actually liked, was the star of the video game Castle of Illusion, as well as another game which shared the name of his most famous film outing. Which character is that? Question 30 is on sport and weaponry, and there is no shortage of weapons in the Australian cricket team, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore it's appropriate that they held the ICC Test Championship trophy for so long. It was once lifted by an England captain, that's Andrew Strauss, in 2011 after we beat India. The ICC Test Championship trophy is in the shape of a weapon, after which it is also named, ladies and gentlemen. What weapon is that, or the name of the trophy? That's question 30 again. The ICC Test Championship trophy, for so long held by that hotbed of sporting weapons, the Australian cricket team, was in 2011 lifted by Andrew Strauss. It is the shape of which weapon, after which it is also named? Question 31 is on networks and things I can barely bring myself to say without feeling nauseous, but let's have a go. On which radio network, which has the slogan "Turn up the feel good," Turn Up the Feel Good is The Breakfast Show presented by dream duo Jamie Theakston and Amanda Holden, the London Drive Time Show by JK. JK, not JK from Jamiroquai, JK from JK and Joel. Imagine being the shitter JK, who's upgraded from Joel to present with Kelly Brook, who I enjoyed watching as a teenager. Other presenters include Mark Wright, presumably the Essex-based idiot as opposed to former England centre-half, Chris Tarrant's daughter, and Toby Anstis, who, lest we forget, enjoyed a torrid romance with Priscilla Presley. All presenters on which radio network? It's like a short list of the third most popular character in a regional pantomime, isn't it? Theakston, Holden, JK from JK and Joel, Kelly Brook. The only way is Essex. It's Mark Wright. Chris Tarrant's daughter, Fia, I think, and Toby Anstis, all presenters. Toby Anstis, who presents a club classic show on this network, by the way, are all presenters on which radio network? Question 32 is on films and literature. One of those films, like Citizen Kane, which is both classic and extremely boring. 2001, A Space Odyssey is based somewhat on the short story The Sentinel, by which British science fiction author? So that's 32. One of those films, which is both a classic and very boring, is 2001, A Space Odyssey, which is based somewhat, not entirely, but based mostly on the short story The Sentinel, by which British science fiction author? Question 33 is on people. Jian Qing, Zhang Chunquao, Chao, Yao Wen Yuan, and Wang Hongwen. That's one group. Kevin Rudd, Julia Gillard, Wayne Swan, or Lindsay Tanner. Or John King, Andy Gill, Dave Allen, and Hugo Burnham. Oh, three separate groups, all known by which three-word name? So Jian Qing, Zhang Chun Chao, Yao Wen Yuan, and Wang Hongwen. Kevin Rudd, Julia Gillard, Wayne Swan, and Lindsay Tanner. Or John King, Andy Gill, Dave Allen, and Hugo Burnham, or three separate groups, all known by which three-word name? Question 34 is on undeniably swanky events. Which New York museum did what can only be referred to as a proper swanky annual ball or gala first take place in 1948? It's a high society charity fundraiser for that museum's costume department. Anna Wintour is the current director of that costume department, purely to raise funds through this swanky event. The event, the ball or the gala, takes its name from the museum in which it takes place. What is that museum? The Blank Ball, ladies and gentlemen, takes its name from the museum whose costume department for which it aims to raise funds by association with high society, ladies and gentlemen, and a swanky ball. Lady Gaga hosted it last year and wore 4 different outfits in 15 minutes. Question 35 is on anatomy. The longest muscle in the human body. Come on. Runs down the thigh and has a name derived from the Latin for tailor. What is the name of that muscle? The longest muscle in the human body. runs down the thigh, and has a name derived from the Latin word for tailor. What is it? We get another word from this, Latin for tailor as well, and also a fullback for Inter in the late 90s. Not important, but true. What is the name of that muscle, the longest in the human body? Come on. We're all better than that. Question 36 is on geography and nomenclature. Which potentially misleading word precedes Republic of Uruguay in giving the full name of the country of Uruguay? What is that word? It's very odd. Potentially misleading word precedes, well, it goes after the blank Republic of Uruguay in giving the full name of the country of Uruguay. What is that word? Question 37 is on sport and TV. Which World Cup winning footballer appeared as himself in the 1998 Christmas episode of The Bill? He was carrying some flowers. Sorry. A World Cup winning footballer who appeared as himself in the 1998 Christmas episode of The Bill, carrying some flowers. Who is that? Question 38 is on films. The all-round right-minded genius Chris Morris has written and directed 2 proper films. Not My Wrongs, that one doesn't tell us any short. The first was Four Lions in 2010, but what was the name of the second, released last year, which focused on a farcical FBI investigation into a Florida religious cult? The second, if you like, full-length Chris Morris written and directed feature film. First was Four Lions in 2010. What was the name of the second, which focused on a slapdash FBI investigation into a Florida religious community or cult group? What was that name? Question 39 is on infantile abbreviations. The amusing side, ladies and gentlemen, of Islamic extremist terrorism. And if we were small-minded simpletons, were we to be? Would that we were small-minded simpletons, ladies and gentlemen, that we may very well find the fact that there exists an Islamic extremist group known as the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, for short, in existence. On which Asian island nation does it mainly operate and was founded? The Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, for short, this is real, exists on which Asian island nation? And question 40 is on music. Which word of 5 letters or more, one word, 5 letters or more, has appeared in the title of hit singles by all of the following artists? Tinchy Stryder, John Lennon, Iron Maiden, The Drifters, The Part-Time Roofers 911, and Uncle Bryan Adams, ladies and gentlemen. Which word, 5 letters or more, has appeared in the title of hit singles by all of these artists? Tinchy Stryder, John Lennon, Iron Maiden, The Drifters, Pint-Sized Menaces 911, and Bryan Adams, ladies and gentlemen. Which word is that? Okay, you'll now be confronted with your music questions. Please make sure, please be careful, please try. In fact, just do it. Write the artist and the song title in the right spaces. I'd recommend about 20 minutes for that, maybe. Don't forget you have to be finished by 9:45, okay? 9:45. So take your time with those. Your pointless questions. Okay? So this is questions 61, 62 and 63. I gave 100 of my friends 100 seconds to name any one of the following categories. There's 3 categories. You need to give me one that none of my friends said to get a point, okay? You can give the same answer 3 times. You can answer the same question 3 times with different answers. You can answer each of the questions once. Whatever. I don't mind, just need 3 answers. But we're looking for obscure answers that none of my friends said. And I need the name of any British footballer who has been transferred for £15 million or more, any town or city in Australia that has a population of more than 50,000, it's like the top 28 places, or any UK acts with 5 or more #1 albums, not including like compilation albums, okay? Best ofs count, but not like now albums or anything like that, okay? Good. So that's any British footballer transferred for £15 million or more, not necessarily to a British club, but they're all British footballers. Any Australian town or city with a population of more than 50,000, that's according to Wikipedia. So don't dispute it. Or any UK act with 5 or more #1 albums. Okay? 61, 62 and 63. Question 64 is your tiebreak question, okay? And what I need is your closest answer to this. If you get it spot on, you get a point, otherwise it will be used purely to break ties. The question is, how many eggs were used by a team of chefs under Pedro Mendez in 2012 to make what was then, and may very well still be, the world's largest ever omelette? And if you were clue, it was more than 1 egg, but it was fewer eggs than 1 million eggs. Okay? So that's how many eggs were used by a team of chefs under Pedro Mendez in 2012 to make what was then the world's biggest ever omelette. And if you were clue, the pan was 10 metres across. Okay, so once you've done all that, click save, tick the 3 boxes and click finish. It has to be finished by 9:45, okay? I will post the link to this, and which you don't need to know because you're watching it already. Good work, Tom. And the answers video and the wiki quiz in the group chat, okay, when they're done. Okay? Thank you all for taking part. Please don't forget to enter the quiz. The prizes will be distributed amongst all winners, whether at home. Don't cheat, because you're scum if you do that. And I'll see you again shortly with the answers. Bye.